All right, part two. So, draw rectangle. Let me go through and do this. Tools. This is a slab. This is one of those ones that has another slab in here. I'm sure everybody knows that anytime that you have a like a porch or a garage, it is a different type of concrete pour. It's a lot thinner. Why go through and make such a thick slab that can hold a foundation whenever it's just a garage and you're just going to have stuff in there? And the same thing with the front porch. If you guys wanted to get technical and try to put the garage in there like that, I usually don't do that, but more power to you. But we'll leave it on here for that. And let's put down that they have, I'm looking for rectangle. So let's put another one back here. Let's say that's like a patio. There wouldn't be any wood moisture content, so you wouldn't have to put the percentages on it. But let's at least put linear foot. We'll do 200. Okay. So I usually do, and it depends on how you want to do it. You can put down like a pad back in the back. I usually just say it's a slab because it's another type of slab. And then I usually put like a slab there. Here again, this is just how I do it. Your Centricon stations, we know how to do those from the prior video. All right, we'll stop there. All right, so saving. Why should we be doing this? We're not having to have paper. We're not having to scan it into the computer. All the extra time wasted to go through and try to do all that. We save this into the account. It's always on the account. And here's the great thing about it for all of us technicians. You can reuse the graph next year. So next year, it will have this graph. Every year we need to be updating the graph. Even if it's something as silly as putting, let's say the prior guy didn't put AC unit, put an AC unit in there if you want to. Or gas or water or satellite dish or something. Gutters. You can put down where there are different gutters that are there. Alright, so saving. So we'll go up here to the top and hit save. Sketch name. Let's say that this was a Centricon install. So I'm going to put down and then I always put the date. I think the date's the 30th. 9. Alright, so why do we put the date? Here again, if this ever becomes in litigation, we have the file name and it is saved on it. They don't have to go into PestPac. They don't have to look at stuff. All this information is right here. So if you were doing an inspection, I usually put inspection and the date. Centricon and the date. We know that it's a Centricon install. Alright, so then you would save. Click OK. And now it's saved. Sketches is what's going to be this graph. But it also goes into documents. Documents is kind of another thing too. You can go through and take photos. right then and there. If you take a photo, you upload it to the account. Maybe you have sent in a screenshot or a picture of an estimate. So that number will change. So, okay, so it's next year. I'm coming out. I'm doing the next yearly inspection. The only thing I should have to do is click on that. It's going to show the Sentricon, the last time that it was done. And there it is. I go through, nothing's changed. There's nothing crazy going on. But I'm going to update it. And I have to kind of put something on there because we do need to be at least every year showing that, here again with litigation, it would go through and show, hey, something's changed on it. You know, it's not just the same thing over and over again. Somebody was out there and did something. So we'll put some gas right there. Now, go up to save. And now you have two options. Save as new or override existing. You never want to use overriding existing while we're going through and doing kind of like an update. It's going to overrun the one prior and we're going to lose it. You would save it as new. It generates what that was. We know that it's a, we can go through and we can change this. And now it's the inspection. And let's just say it's 9/30/22. Save. And so now we have two sketches. You can go through and see what the prior technician did. Now you can see what you've just done, and you've gone through and changed it. Now, let's say that you just forget that I hit that load button, that I loaded this in there. Let's just say that I'm out there, I'm doing this job, and here I am. I've gone through, I've saved it. I go to leave. Oh man, I forgot to add that they had something else over here, whatever you want to put down. Hey, I forgot to do something. So this is the one that you were working on. This is the one that you have just done. You can go and save and overwrite the existing one. Like I said, you don't want to overwrite the one that was prior, but if it's one that you're working on, you basically want to make changes to the one that you did. You just forgot something. You're going to go through and you overwrite that. So the one that I just worked on, and here again, don't pay attention to the date. Like I said, that was one that I just did. And I can go through it, and now it has changed with what I've gone through and what I've done. And so that's basically sketching. Grid. Want to start a new one? I'm going to go ahead and do the box method. Walking out to the house, I write in all of my information, go through. We don't use device. You can use the objects, unless you want to do your own. Drawing, I don't use the polygon. Freehand, that's self-explanatory. Straight, we went through that. Rectangle and arrow. Labels, I would suggest use the labels to show the Sentricon. You could do it to use something else if you want to, but that usually, without 100% doubt, that's a Sentricon. Now, if you just use like a text, well, if I hit the text button, to me it just doesn't look as good. It's just numbers. And also, if you have writing out here, potentially that might be misunderstood of what those are. These are circular. We know they're Sentricon stations. We know that they're bait stations at least. So that should be all that you have to do. Now I'm going to say once again, don't ever hit that back button. Some technicians will actually go through, if you're in a bad area or PestPac is messing up on you, or you're having bad connection, or there's just something kind of janky that's going on, you can go through and save Okay, so now I've got this one saved, and I'm still working on it. So now I can go through and keep on, you know, I can add my next thing in. Fire. And so I click save. I'm overriding existing because it's one that I'm working on. And now I can just go through and keep doing that. I can do a little bit and save it. Do a little bit and save it. Do a little bit and save it. However you want to do it. All right, so that is pretty much this little quick tutorial. I hope it helps you out. More than welcome to give me a holler, ask me questions if you need to, but that's pretty much it. Y'all have a good one.